We kept jars filled with tears, each jar labeled with a name. My name is Grace Wanjiru, 10 years serving darkness in Nairobi. Every person who cried alone had a jar. The fuller the jar, the stronger our control over them. One woman's jar was almost full. We used her tears to destroy her marriage, her finances, and her health, all because she cried alone. Tonight, how demons use your tears when no one is watching. Before I explain how we collected tears, you need to understand why tears are so powerful spiritual. Tears are not just water and salt. They carry emotional energy. Every tear that falls from your eyes contains the frequency of what you're feeling: pain, grief, desperation, betrayal, loneliness. These emotions have spiritual weight. And in the kingdom of darkness, we understood how to harvest that weight and use it against people. Blood is powerful because it carries DNA and life. But tears are even more powerful because they carry the deepest emotions of the soul. And emotions are the language of the spirit realm. During my 10 years in witchcraft in Nairobi, I was trained in what we call emotional harvesting. We didn't just attack people randomly. We studied them. We watched for their breaking points. And when someone reached their lowest moment and cried alone, that's when we moved in, not to comfort, not to help, but to collect. Every tear that fell in isolation, every sob that echoed in an empty room, every cry that no one heard, we captured it spiritually. And we stored it. The process worked like this. When someone cried alone, especially at night, we sent collector spirits. These were demons specifically assigned to gather tears. They would hover near the person, invisible to human eyes, and as each tear fell, they captured it in the spirit realm. The tears were then transferred to what we called weeping jars. These were spiritual containers, not physical ones, but they were just as real. Each person had their own jar, labeled with their name, their location, and their pain point. The more they cried alone, the fuller their jar became. And the fuller the jar, the stronger our hold over them. I remember a woman in Nairobi named Mercy. She had lost her husband in a car accident. The grief was unbearable, but she didn't want to burden her friends or family, so she cried alone every night in her bedroom. With the door locked, she wept until she had no more tears. We assigned a collector spirit to her. Within 3 months, her jar was half full. Within 6 months, it was almost overflowing. And with every tear we collected, we reinforced the spirit of grief over her life. She couldn't move on. She couldn't heal. She couldn't feel joy because we were using her own tears to keep her trapped in sorrow. Another case involved a young man named James. He struggled with depression. He felt isolated and misunderstood, so he cried alone.